SNR or its management.
This is AM 620 WSNR, Jersey City. Доктора не работала. Кларивейн – это новейший.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Just Enough Heshy show. Me and Rachel are laughing. She makes me nervous every time. I don't believe you're going to make the show. Every week she's late, and she's telling me she's a minute away. Well, what's wrong with you, Rachel?
You know what? At least this week we're laughing before you even tell the
I
show.
know. I can't, but we're actually talking to her. Usually she's never on time for the show. But at least maybe she's in a good mood, so she'll laugh at my joke. Hello, Leah. How are you? Welcome back to our quiet co-host that never talks. How are you?
Amazing.
She said.
She found her voice.
Beautiful, beautiful. Everybody, thank you for coming to the Just Enough Heshy show. I hope you're going to have a good show. I'm going to try to teach Rachel this week about national politics. I know you must know something about this impeachment thing. It's all over the place, Rachel. Everybody talks about it. You're the only one that doesn't know.
Well, I have other things to talk about.
And at least she's going to laugh at my joke. Will you laugh at my joke tonight?
Definitely. I've been practicing laughter all
Good
week.
girl, Leah. I want a good laugh because last week
Is it funny?
It's always funny.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Well, but people don't think it's funny, but it's funny. Every week I make fun of myself.
You have to convince the audience it's funny. Have you ever seen Jackie Mason say he's not funny?
Yeah.
No. That's it. Tell the joke as if it's funny and we'll all laugh.
You got it, everybody. Anyways, we're going to talk about our sponsors, but this week you're going to like this sponsor. It's a young lady that I know for many, many years, and she has a place called Fallon's. It's a ladies' dress store. It's like for beautiful clothing for adults, teens, and children. Really cool stuff. I mean, I don't wear ladies' clothing, but if you're going to wear it, this is the place where to go because it's really cool stuff. I saw the website, and I know for many years, and a lot of people tell me about it. It's really a cool place. They're located at 3132 Bedford Avenue. You're going to like this. You ever heard about this Black Thursday and Friday and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Right? You know about this? So this girl has a Black Friday and a Black Thursday, whatever you call it. It's something black. Anyways, she's located at 3132 Bedford Avenue, corner of Avenue J. Her phone number is 347-693-9908. Now, you're going to love this one. The first 10 customers tonight, you're listening to me, first 10 customers tonight get an extra 10% off their purchases. And if you say you heard it on the Just Enough Heshy show, you get another 5% off. They're open tonight, which is something cool, from 9 o'clock to midnight. I don't know. And if you call her at 347-693-9908, you can find out her hours for the rest of the week, or just go on the web and type in Fallon's. They're really cool, and you should see their clothing, Rachel. I was complaining this week about some of these young girls that wear clothing that are terrible, that you can see things that you don't want to see. Right. And I was complaining to one of my Muslim customers. And he says, what are you complaining about? I said, I just can't take it. I said, these girls should dress classy and nice and go to Fallon's and stuff like that. And he says, well, that's the way of the world. And I'm never going to say it's the way of the world. Go to this place, classy, cool stuff. You look nice. It's just a pretty place to go get your stuff. Go to Fallon's again, 3132 Bedford Avenue, corner of Avenue J, 347-693-9908. First 10 customers tonight get 10% off their purchase. They're open from 9 to midnight tonight. Call them, and you'll see they're open the rest of the week, and you're going to have a very good time with them. Wonderful people. And then you're going to go to Wolf's Grocery. And I forgot to mention him last week because he's just a nice man. He's just a good guy. All of them, the brothers there, they're located 2362 Nostrand Avenue, 718-252-1863. Call them for all your needs. They deliver Thanksgiving. They're open Fridays to the last minute. I always call him Friday. I say, why aren't you on your way home? He says, no, I'm servicing people. Very nice people. 2362 Nostrand Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, corner of Avenue J and Nostrand Avenue. And if you go in there and say Uncle Heshy sent you, he'll give you a free coffee. He doesn't give me a free coffee, but.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What about Habishi's next door?
What's Habishi's?
Habishi's?
What's
Habishi?
Habishi?
It's our neighbors. They're amazing.
Not over here. Wolf's Grocery Stores, Avenue J. We're on Avenue V.
I'm still advertising for Habishi's.
Okay.
I get 20% off every time I mention their name on your show.
Wow, really?
Yes.
Oh, good for you.
So go ahead. Tell them about Habishi's.
I'm not telling about you, but anyways, don't forget ttstyles.com. Tehila Tishla, 718-675-6888. 6842, 718-675-6842, ttstyles.com. Tehila Tischler, she does your hairs, your wigs, your makeup. She's really doing good stuff. She makes you great for your party, sets you all up. Tehila Tischler, she's got what?
She has got she'll take out the beauty in you.
She'll bring out the beauty in you.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank
Take
you,
it out,
Rachel.
bring it.
Right, whatever. Anyways, Tehila Tischler, 718-675-6842. Really, she's great, and she helps you out for all your party needs. Give her a call. And then we have this guy, Avi Fleischer, technical difficulties. Wonderful guy. He fixes your computers. Today he was fixing my whole system. We had a flood in our office. You know, those special young kids that come into our office. Somebody made a boo-boo and they put some cloth down the bath. I don't even want to complain, and flooded the whole place. And we had computer problems and issues, and it was really bad. And I got a little angry, and Avi Fleischer, and I got crazy. I said, Avi, I'm closing down. I'm throwing them out. Avi says, chill, Heshy. I'm going to fix your computers. I'm not going to charge you. Listen to this one, what the boy did. He sat, and then he was making my computers crazy, and I started to complain. He quickly stopped everything, made my computer work because I'm the boss, and he fixed my computer and let me go back. So technical difficulties.
Are your feet wet?
What?
Are your feet wet?
I had to buy a water vac from Home Depot to clean up the place.
Have you ever heard the thing, come on in and get your feet wet?
Oh.
That means like get comfortable. Just get trained.
Oh, right.
Get your feet wet.
Very funny.
So come to Greenline Building Solutions and get your feet wet.
Very good, Rachel. That was funny. Finally, somebody with a funny joke. Anyways, technical difficulties located at 5404 16th Avenue, 51504 60th Street, 718-259-4593. 718-259-4593. Tell him Heshy Tischler, Uncle Heshy sent you. He will love you. Technical, patient, and calm.
How are his prices?
He's wonderful. Really, his prices are good. He sometimes skip billing you. He's not a greedy person. He charges, but he charges fair. And if he feels that you need a little bit extra time, and he doesn't over abuse his privileges. And then you have 77 Barbershop, 4225 18th Avenue. Again, this guy has handicap ramps, senior citizen discounts, takes care of the special educational people, special people in needs. I like Sam. He's just a good guy. 777 Barbershop, located on East 2nd and 18th Avenue, 4225 18th Avenue. Call him for an appointment, 718-484-2499, 718-484-2499. And then we have $25 car rental. He's located on 18th Avenue, Coney Island Avenue. You need this, Rachel.
I know.
You don't have a car, yo. You got to get this guy gives you a car for $25.
Okay, you get me the car the first time, and I'll be here every week, every day.
You got it. $25.
This show running.
Oh God, we got to do something.
Especially the first time you advertise. You could have that car for $25 as long as you stay in it. I'll stay in it for 365 days a year.
I don't think you can do that. Get into the car Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Stay in it for the same price as long as you want. Oh wow, you can. Minivans, $35. 718-851-2000 are located on the corner of 18th Avenue and Coney Island Avenue. $25 car rental. 718-851-2000. And listen to his 800 number. 800-2495-2495. That's $24.95 a day.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool,
Really
right?
awesome.
That's amazing. I'll remember that.
And he'll bill you insurance
2495.
companies if you're in an accident. He'll help whatever get the bills if you need a car rental because of your insurance. That's what it is. When your car's being fixed, he can help you bill for it. Wonderful, wonderful people, and I like them. And then of course we have
Jamula Jewelers.
I forgot about Jamula Jewelers. Jamula Jewelers, 944 Kings Highway. They're for all your needs. I mean, they're very, very good company. They have
All your sparkling needs.
They're in business for 40 years. They're a family-owned business for 40 years. They do diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, diamond jewelry, or just bring your own jewelry to redesign or freshen up. Jamula Jewelers.
They have the sparkle for you.
They have the sparkle for you. Located at 944 Kings Highway, 718-336-1980. Very good. And then, of course, we have Greenline Building Solutions, located at 5318 16th Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, 11204, 718-871-0382. We do ECB violations, DOB. We file plans, permits. Really, we're one of the best out there.
You are the best. And you know why you're the best? Because if your customers call and tell you to get rid of your co-host, you say, no way, Jose.
I had a lot of people standing on line. People are coming and it's getting crazy. And you know what? I want to tell you a story. Yesterday, I had an inspection for a guy with a vacate order, and I was fighting the building department called the Mayor's Task Force or some Midtown Task Force. They're like a Nazi organization. I don't know who put them in power. They come to your house. I qualified. I complied with everything. And still, this bad guy, this inspector, we came with 2 cops to the side. I'm not going to lift it. I said, why? He says, well, I can give you another violation because I see a shower head. I said, are you crazy, man? We complied. Nothing, everything is pre-existing.
Are you asking if he's crazy? You should have just told him that you're
I
diagnosing.
had a whole
crazy.
argument with him. And I said, he says, well, you're not the commission. I says, you just wait till I get elected. And when I get elected, I'm going to be the first one. I'm going to shut down this mayor's task force. You guys have to make a change. We're scared. We're running scared. It's not only the mayor's task force. It's not only the building department. It's the cops. I mean, you have a mayor that's walking around town telling all city employees, garbage men, Rachel, building department inspectors, well, if you see somebody with mental illness problems, let's call them and put them away. You have somebody fighting. Yesterday, I saw a young couple. They were African-American, a black couple. They were arguing. And a black guy.
They like to be called colored.
Well, it could be quiet with your stupidity. Anyways, they were fighting on the street. A couple was arguing, and somebody called the cops on them. I was standing right there, and the cops came over to the guy right away and said, "Oh, what's going on?" And right away, I knew that just because he was black, he was going to get in trouble. And at the end of the day, about a half hour later,
black too.
Yeah, it was a couple fighting. So I don't know. She might have said, you know how
you could say maybe because he was the
man. You know how all women are. They say you touched me or hit me, and boom, we go to jail without any evidence against us.
I'm not so sure. There's some guys that make up stories too. For example, my mother said not to mention it, but my owner just broke out down the wall in his apartment, came and now my apartment has no lock in it. He actually could come into my place, and he tried to make up a bullshit story and told the police that I broke into his house. Can you imagine? Well, whatever. Did you
call the police?
No, I didn't, because I didn't want to call on a Jew, but he did to make up a bullshit story. It's okay. We're going down to landlord and tenant, and we're going to open up a case against him.
You got some serious. We have to talk about
harassment to the max.
Okay, Rachel.
And didn't you tell me I could sue for $50,000? I had three witnesses there with me.
Anyways, everybody. Oh God.
Sorry, Ma. I know you're the best. I just,
call Green Light Building.
I'm on the microphone here.
Call Green Light Building Solutions, not you, Rachel. Don't call Green Light. We help you with all your plans.
I don't call. I just show up.
You do. Vacate orders, plans, permits. We're located on the corner of 16th Avenue and 54th Street. You have any other issues, you can stop by, come on in, say hello, and we take care of everything.
I do want to say one more thing.
You're on the live show with Just Enough Heshy. You can call into the show at what number, Rachel?
718-909.
No, 303.
That's why my friend's going to get through. I just wanted to make sure you're listening.
718-303-9090. Call it for any subject. Try to straighten Rachel out. 718-303-9090. Or you can text me at 718-288-7844. I might see it.
We have a caller right now.
You can email the Just Enough Heshy show. And I didn't even say my joke for the day. I didn't even say my joke for the day.
Hello, you're on the air with Rachel, Big H, and Leah.
Oh, good evening, Big H. This is Eddie from Dyker Heights.
Hi,
Eddie. You're like our biggest fan.
I love Eddie. Eddie, you got to come on to the show one day. But they didn't even let me say my joke for the day. Eddie, you got to let me say it.
You can say it while Eddie's on live.
Well, the way you were going, Heshy, I don't know when you're going to get to it.
Exactly. Thank you, dear.
Wow. You just joined Rachel. Are you in trouble right now?
No, he's not in trouble. He loves me. You could come on and join me, and he's going to like it.
I want to say my quote. My son, Dimitri's going to get the phones while we're all hold. But my son wants to quit on me, and he wants to open his own company.
Every day.
Right, every day. And I was telling my son, listen, you got to be careful. You got to be watching because your decisions are very careful. And I'm going to work with you. He says, well, Ta, he calls me Ta. He says, Dad, you gambled. You never worked for anybody. You always were on your own and you became successful. I said, listen, I struggled. I don't want you to make the same mistakes as me. And this is my quote for my son, Moshe. By the way, I'm going to say hello to my beautiful granddaughter, Mira Nava, that's 10 months old.
Hello, Miranava.
The quote of the day is like this. Today is a new day. We can't undo a single thing we have ever done, but we can make decisions today that propel us to the life that we want and towards a future of endless possibilities. So my dear son, watch out for your future. Be careful of your decisions. Listen to the old man because I'm always what, Rachel?
You're always Big H.
I'm always right. Anyways, here's my joke for the day because I don't want my boy to be nervous over there. Eddie, listen to this. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. So me and my beautiful wife of 30 years almost, or 29 years, I can't tell you she's turning 50. I'm not allowed to say that. She's not. She's 49. Anyways, we're sitting in front of the TV, and Linda, out of the blue, my wife always does that. Out of the blue, she starts talking to me. And she says, Heshy, sweetheart. I knew I was in trouble right away. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me with all your soul? So I'm just watching TV, and I said, that's all I could say. What am I going to do? I know anything else that comes out of my mouth, I'm in trouble. Then she continues, Heshy, do you think I'm the most beautiful woman in the world? I mean, what did you think I was going to say? I didn't know what to say. I said, yeah, that's it. What should I do? And then again, she doesn't stop. What do you think I do? I smell like rose petals? Oh, yeah, sure, you smell like rose petals. Well, yeah, And then at the end, she says, oh, Heshy, you say the most beautiful thing. So this is my moral of the story. If you don't say anything and you let the woman do all the talking, you can't lose. You just can't lose.
Amazing. I
You
love
see,
it.
look at a good
idea.
joke. Yeah, that's it. So I'm learning to shut my mouth. By the
Good
way,
idea.
Eddie, I want you to personally be invited. Tomorrow we have Thanksgiving dinner at 2462 Brigham Road, Brigham Street. It's between X and Y. Rachel, you're personally invited. I want you to bring Leia.
Absolutely.
We have like
of course.
50 people coming, people who want meals. If you just want to come, you just want to come hang, just come over. It's going to start like 5, we'll end like 8 or 9. Come over. It's like a buffet style. We squeeze together, we laugh at each other. I make fun of everybody. I
And
hug
we
everybody.
thank God for everything good we have.
We
And we
thank.
thank God for America, even with all its problems.
That's right, Eddie.
We thank God for President Trump, and we thank God that soon we're going to have a councilman named
That's right.
Heshy Tischler.
You got it. But Eddie, I want to ask you a question while you're on the phone. You're the first question I'm going to ask. You know, there's a guy by the name of Bloomberg. You know who Bloomberg is,
Yes,
by the
I
way?
can't
Oh,
I heard he's
yes,
running
I
for
know him
president.
only too well.
The man is an idiot. First of all, he's
I love him.
77, but he wants to run
Well,
against
not like
our guy
that.
Trump. He's running against
Okay.
Trump. The man he has his own problems. He's taxed the city of New York like you never saw before. He did whatever. He also apologized for the stop and frisk, which was wrong. He commits the worst crime in the world, arrests thousands of young black Spanish. I think it was like 65% black, 30% Spanish, 8% white people. I watched it. I used to work in Harlem. My men were scared. The man now apologizes for putting people in jail. You know what it is to sit one night in jail, but many people who did something wrong or fought back or disorderly
By
conduct.
the way, I want to speak about Olive for a minute because I
But
used
before
to
you
work
speak
for
about
them.
Olive, this guy Bloomberg does not deserve to run for president, and he's going to spend $150 million of his own money. He's knocking President Trump, who he has made double his fortune because Trump is in business, because Trump is president, and the man is a fool. And I'm telling you, anybody that I hope the man only has 3% right now. I'm hoping that he gets 2%. Bloomberg is. What do you think? Should Bloomberg even run?
I don't think he's going to make out too well, Heshy, from what I've heard.
I can tell you from a different generation. You know, when I go for a job interview, my dad says, "How'd you make out?" I say, "Tad, we don't say that. I didn't make out."
Oh, well, that expression goes back to the 50s.
Yeah, right.
But you could, by the way, everybody, you can watch us on Facebook and YouTube at 718-303-99.
Heshy,
But Eddie, my question, so Bloomberg is an idiot. And then now, one more thing. You know Sanders, Bernie Sanders, this is a man I hate.
oh, yes.
I truly have hate for this man.
And he's from Brooklyn.
Right, and he's...
Eddie, do you know that if you agree with Heshy, you get to stay on the call longer, right?
Oh,
No, but anyway, here's my problem. Mr. Sanders is complaining that Bloomberg now is spending a fortune of money to run a campaign. But I watched today, and I'm telling you, I was just pulling off the internet, that this idiot Sanders alone collected over $20 million in 6 weeks. So if the man,
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
donation.
so what are you crying about? If Bloomberg is spending 150, you're spending $20 million, and by the time the campaign hits, by the time the end of the campaign, you're going to overspend also $100 million. How do you? He's just a hypocrite. The man is a fool. I know that he's some kind of dumb, but he's just a dumbbell, Eddie.
and he also, Mr. Sanders also owns 3 domiciles, Heshy.
You see, the man just is just a faker, like the other person who's an Indian. What's that Indian lady?
Listen, let me get a point in. Heshy, how did you make out last Wednesday? You said you were going down to court to testify against a couple of building inspectors. How did you make out?
Oh, so I want you to know, when I was called into court. Matter of fact, I saw the inspector in the hallway. They made us stay in the hallway, and the lawyers questioned me. And I was just great. I came prepared with plans. They didn't come nothing prepared. Then the inspector, they brought him in afterwards, and he was sitting there behind the prosecutor on the side. He asks me, Heshy, did the inspector tell you to, Harold, did the inspector tell you to remove the kitchen? I said, yes, he did tell me that. And matter of fact, it's right here on the plan. He pointed to it. He says, it's not true. The inspector said he never said it. I said, forget that I have 3 witnesses, but I just want you to know something, that I made the inspector enter into the system that I'm able to do it. He says, oh, really? And it happens to be the inspector did do it, because otherwise I wouldn't have done it. And when we caught the inspector lying, there's no such thing as the inspector getting in trouble or going to jail or getting prosecuted for lying. They can get away with lying.
But you got what you want.
And not only that, the judge was so saying, wow, you're so knowledgeable. But I walked in there, you're going to love this, Eddie. Not only did I walk in there with my expediting ID, I walked in with my press pass. And they all got nervous. Oh, the press is here. I said, that's right. I am the press, and I'm going to report this all to the thing. But the judge was so
You're for the press and they get depressed.
I'm going to make sure that these building department inspectors, I'm going to get on the committee. You know, we have a councilman, and I like the boy. He's just lost, Chaim Deutsch, and Rachel likes him for some reason. But, you know.
That's because you told me to like him.
Okay, but the point is he went over to one of my clients and he promised to get them gas. And then he called them and said, you know what? Can't get it for you. Sorry. I was on the phone and I'm working on this customer who has problems. I got him the gas. He actually got his gas meter yesterday. They turned him down on Sunday, and I cried and screamed and we got him back in. You know, Chaim Deutsch calls up my client, says, oh, you got the gas, you get credit. You idiot. It was me. You said no. But you know what? My client says, Heshy, do you want to give him credit? I said, let him have the credit. I know I got your gas on. I did a good job. But the councilman, the senator, the Felder, all of these guys, they take credit after we do the work. They take pictures all day long. I see them taking pictures, and again, I'm going to complain again. They do nothing. And yesterday, I want you to know there was a big meeting of a special charter school, and that went out of business that takes care of special needs children. They ran out of funding. So what happened is they rented it now to a different kind of a school. You're going to like this. It's a school that has hundreds of Midwood residents attended a meeting of protest of a charter school. An overflow of residents gathered at a meeting in East Midwood, where this school that ran by Rabbi Harry Halberstam for it's like a half a century for special kids who had difficulties. They didn't have no more funding. So what happened? They rented it now to some kind of a public school that's just going to act crazy. Instead of supporting special needs children, they're going to bus in children out of nowhere and rent this place over there. And you know what happened?
We're getting another call.
Yeah. So,
Heshy, can I ask you?
but I just want to tell you something. All the politicians showed up the last minute because hundreds of residents showed up. You have Kalman Yeager, Chaim Deutsch, two different districts, guys showing up, stalling our residents who are protesting, who want to speak. Instead, they go up there and speak with Felder. They finally do something, and what could they do? Nothing, because it's already done. You shout and scream after it's done. Where were you when we called you 100 times, Eddie?
Okay,
now
by the
you
way,
understand.
last week,
Let Eddie say something.
Quick question, Heshy. Out by ShopRite, you know, that's on McDonald Avenue, and between that and 50th and 19th Avenue, they're building monstrous high-rises. I'm assuming it's apartments. Do you know anything about that?
Yes, it was a place that went on fire. It was owned by some cola place. It went out of business. It was empty for maybe about 25, maybe even longer than that years. And somehow they got the zoning, which nobody else can get over there. And they're building, a billion co-ops there.
Yes, it's huge. It looks like something out of the future.
I know. But it is a lot of housing. It's right behind ShopRite. I don't know where they're getting you have to have parking if you have more than 10 cars.
It's got to be hundreds of apartments there.
You know, 100, and they're and they're going to be getting thousands and thousands of dollars.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Eddie. I love you. Have a great weekend and a great Thanksgiving. And if you're hungry, Eddie, and you're bored, you bring your woman and you come to 2462 Brigham Street. We're going to feed you. We're going to have great food. I think she makes chicken, but my wife promised to make a lot of the cookies, so it'll be better. Thank you.
Well, Thanksgiving to all of you.
You got it, my brother. So do you understand, Rachel?
I just need to say two things.
Go ahead.
Number one, I got a lot of calls and private text messages last week when you had Baruch Cohen speaking on the show. People that have been to the Based in California have absolutely said the most disastrous things about it. They absolutely do not interview both sides, and both sides said that was a great show. What do you think? If you play chess, everybody's going to say that was great. No, the person who won will probably be happy and may have bought someone off. It's rampant for I am very fond of Rabbi Union. He actually went to school with my uncle, Gershom Mendel, back in the day, but I'm not going to say last names. You reminded me about that. But Rabbi Teichman's Based in is absolutely corrupt.
You don't know what the Based in is. Based in is like an arbitrational court.
I know. I was there actually. They wrote false Heter Merabanim. They write false Yerubim.
Stop.
He just gets a lot of money for it, and he says what they want him to say to make him feel good, to prevent people going from court, where actually, if you go to court, it's much less corrupt because the people are worried about being sold out. These rabbis have nothing to be worried about. That's number one. Number two, you said you don't know what it's like to be in jail one night. That's 100%.
I do know what it is.
No, you do know, but people don't. And you know what? Aleph Institute, who prides himself as being built on the premise of what the Rebbe stood for, I know personally is trying to convince one person to go in. And they said, just go down, put yourself in, even though they said they know that it's false charges on him. We'll just have you fingerprinted and put in a cell. I can't believe that they could call themselves an institution of the Lubavitcher Rebbe. You know what I said? They told the guy, go and be a chassid. So I said, tell them to be a Shpaler Zayda. They should take your place. And they should say we're going to jail. Oh, all of a sudden there was no ticking, no washing.
I don't know where this came
Anyway, I
from.
just wanted to say that out there, and I hope they're listening, and I hope that they're going to actually do what's right and stand up for the truth.
Okay, by the way, Aleph Institute is an organization that claims they help people in jail.
That's right.
And they try, but the truth of the matter is they do nothing.
Mostly nothing.
Mostly nothing.
I've actually helped I prevented someone from going to jail.
Yeah, well, anyways, so let's talk about something else now. Are you ready?
Ready.
We get another take.
I just needed to get that out.
I like you did. Wow.
And Baruch Cohen, I called him for help. It was a case that he would have won hands down. I just needed his license. And he said, unless you pay me $10,000, I'm not going to deal with it.
Well, he told you he's expensive.
Oh, well, he didn't tell me. He may have told the radio. But you know what? If a man prides himself that he's Jewish and religious and saying that we should look for that in shidduchim, then if a girl from the community calls and it takes a few minutes, then sorry. Okay, now I'm ready to go be with you.
Anyway,
go ahead.
Leah, while you're sitting there quietly, are you happy?
I'm gonna let her have her spotlight.
Oh, she has her spotlight. Don't worry about it. Boy, can that girl scream. Anyways, now that we already discussed that Bloomberg's an idiot, I have a Facebook. I have a few thousand followers on Facebook, Rachel. And there was one guy that was knocking Trump, said Trump is bad and he feels depressed and he lost a lot of friends and he's depressed, that he actually is depressed that President Trump became a president. I mean, I'm writing back to him. He's an idiot. You're stupid. President Trump is a great president. But if you think that you should be depressed because of it, go on with your life. And all day long on Facebook, him and his buddies are just knocking Trump. And I'm not on Facebook all day, but every time I come back, I see like 20 text messages. And I just say, well, you're wasting your life by being, and he's depressed that President Trump is better than Trump.
Is there like a button for like I'm depressed now button? I don't understand. You don't switch it on and off. Now I'm depressed. Now I'm not. Oh, he must have been depressed before. Now
right, because President Trump. I mean, Musabi is an unemployed bum.
I'm undepressed because President Trump became president.
Get the phone from me.
All right, we're on the air almost.
You're on the air with Heshy and Rachel, who's just in one of her moods.
Hi, Heshy.
Yes.
Yes, listen, I want you to run and be matzliach and help us save us from the bikers that are making our lives miserable. They're running the wrong way. They don't pay attention to the light. And please change your clock. You're still on daylight saving time. You know?
We do notice that. We know that. But that big clock up there, it's so hard to change. So we figured we'll wait a whole year till next year. But the computer clock is correct.
Well, I like you. You pay attention to detail. Thank you for pointing that out. I will get you next week.
By the way, I do agree with you on the bikers because, I'm very nervous. Sometimes you open the door, and I've seen it a few times. You open your car door, and a biker smashes into you, and you're dead. I mean, you're just going to be sued or in trouble. You have to be very careful, and some of these bikers are not paying attention. And you're right. We have to figure out how to get this working. I mean, Mr. de Blasio or Wacko de Blasio just thinks he can do whatever he wants. Plus, they stop bikers now. They actually ticket bikers, which is okay. But the point is, most of them get away with it. And I don't know what to do about bikers. It's a very serious issue. And I'm going to stop those bike lanes. It's just, you can't close. They closed Prospect Park, that you can't use cars anymore just for bikes and walking. It's not fair.
What do you mean it's not fair?
What do you mean? Because I want to be able to take a shortcut to Prospect Park since I'm a kid was open.
Heshy, you know what? I'm going to get you to get on your bike, and you're going to lose that weight that you said you wanted to lose.
I don't mind these bike lanes in the park, and but there should be allowed our cars to go through, just like Central Park. I believe
maybe it's safer if the cars don't go through.
It should, if you cordon off certain areas. So why don't you just stop all cars in the city of New York and everybody just go on bikes?
That'd be great.
Right. Okay,
I
Rachel.
had one last question. I love your show, and I'm following. I've been away. I was on the show for some time.
Well, minute, you didn't say hello to me. Hi, I'm Rachel. What's up?
Rachel, I'm just about to mention you. Wait, you let me talk. Rachel,
right.
you sound terrific. You are terrific, and way there, I mean, much from her.
I know. She's pretty. Just say she's pretty.
No, okay, but my question is very simple. I don't think it's embarrassing anybody. I'm just wondering, everybody.
When I used to want to be chutzpahdik, I would say I don't mean to be disrespectful. So, do you want to embarrass someone? Then come out and say I'd like to embarrass.
That's it. Don't worry about us.
No. My question is, what happened to Esty? I like everybody.
Sorry, we signed a press release and we cannot talk about it. That's the answer.
Me and Esty had a disagreement.
No. We're not allowed to speak about it.
We can speak about anything we want. I'm honest. I'm straight open. Me and Esty had a disagreement, and I had to let Esty go because I just didn't agree with a lot of the policies. You understand that I'm against marijuana 100%, no matter what. I'm never going to let those. I just want you to know, my friend. Today they signed some bill in Massachusetts Massachusetts. New York City Council is now approving that e-cigarettes are no good with flavors. People are smoking cigarettes with fire in their lungs because the cigarette companies have billions and billions of dollars. The e-cigarette companies don't have it. I know people who've quit smoking whose lives have been saved, even mine. Nothing has happened. Some of these guys who smoke the e-cigarettes with the marijuana in it, that's the problem. We are going to legalize marijuana, but the governors and the state people are upset that e-cigarettes are not federally barred. They're just stupid because there's no money in it, so they figure they can suck the money out of the e-cigarettes. I'm just telling you right now that I have a problem with marijuana. I have a problem with anybody who smokes marijuana. If you want to do it in your own personal thing, don't smoke it with other people. Don't give it, don't sell it. It bothers me. And once you do something like that, you are bad. And if you hurt another soul or you make some, marijuana is a hallucinogen. People think, oh, no, it's not so bad. It is bad. You can't work. You can't do it during business hours. Your boss won't get the productivity. You'll make a car accident. You'll be on a bicycle. You'll hurt. And you know what? Sometimes you lose it or get angry because some people can't deal with it. The high and the low, they can hit their wives or children or hurt themselves. I know people that have committed suicide. I'm telling you now, I love it. I love Esty.
I have a friend who lost a husband.
Right, and when you do something bad, I am not going to stand by. I'm going to warn you. And I warned her over and over again. Me and Esty have parted ways. No, we didn't part friendly. I'm disappointed with my young friend. But I'm disappointed with many young people.
Actually, I want to ask you a question. Okay, Rachel, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm listening now.
No, my question is, Heshy, did you ever go and check out the statistics in Washington State and Colorado? How are they faring with marijuana?
Well, California is losing money. I'm just telling you, the black market is still producing more marijuana. I watched it on 60 Minutes of Report. I've read about it. So this legalizing marijuana for taxing and then using the taxes to educate about its education is not working. More police, more money is going into getting rid of the illegal marijuana. The black market of licensing is just bad. I'm telling you, there is no money. Colorado is not making money, but is not losing money. And it's a different idea over there, the way they control it. So I really don't know about Colorado. I did look into it, that it's a profitable business for the business people. And remember, there wasn't a lot of black market in Colorado. In California, there was always a black market of marijuana, and it's not working out, and the taxes are not working. I don't know about Washington State, but I know New York City. I don't mind you decriminalizing it. That means if you want to grow a plant at home, you need medicinal marijuana, fine, I got it. I know it. I see the cancer patients. I go to the hospital. I cry with them. But it's not allowed to be open for the public. Legalizing marijuana is this dumbest, stupidest thing. Opioids, you know that it's one of the biggest problems in the city, in the country. 1 out of 5 people I read have a drug problem. 1 out of 5 people have a drug problem. 1 out of 5 people have mental illness. Now you explain to me that statistic right there. So if you're telling me that people have a drug problem, have a mental problem, most likely it's about doing drugs. It's connected to drugs. I'm telling you, drugs is bad. It ruins you. It destroys you. I know people who are in the 60s and the 70s. I don't even know how they made it. And I tell you, my young friend, drugs is bad. No matter what you want to tell me, I don't care what you want to hear, that it's going to make money. We can control it. We lose one life, one soul.
Actually, the statistics in these states about the people, there's more suicides, people, the things that you're describing, is it coming to fruition?
Suicide in our country today is one of the biggest. We have suicides today is bigger than car accidents. It's bigger than anything else.
But I'm asking about marijuana in those states that allow marijuana. Is marijuana the cause of more crime and more stuff?
I believe that marijuana is the cause of more mental problems. That's what I believe it is. And you're right. I don't know the statistics on it, but I'll tell you one thing from personal interaction with marijuana. Not that I've done it, but I see the kids in my youth center. I see, right now there was another suicide this last week. I have 75 young kids that could have committed suicide in the Borough Park, Midwood, Flatbush area. I'm talking a small little area. I'm not talking the city of New York. I don't even want to know about Bellevue and Manhattan and the Bronx and all the other places. We have young children today. You tell me because they're depressed? All of a sudden they're depressed? No, because of the drugs, or they couldn't get it, or they did too much of it. I'm just telling you that there's no reason to legalize marijuana. If you need it, I got it. We got to control it. And us parents, it's our fault because we're not watching our children.
I will say this, since you said that that Rachel should say something. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, and I know you say no God, but you didn't say no Rebbe.
No Rebbe.
And you know what? They said no God in the public schools, and that's why they have guns there. So I'm going to be brave enough to use my mouth as my gun, okay? And when people are depressed, when their soul and their body are not in sync, and there's so little soul left in this generation that is a orphan generation, and we need to actually bring God back into the public school, and if not God openly, at least a moment of silence.
I got you on that, but I'm talking about drugs. Now
we
don't
need
get
to
me
give
wrong.
people
I believe
things to keep them
I
busy.
believe that drugs are needed to control our mental illness. But to have drugs that you're growing in your house or open to the public and not prescribed by a doctor, that is stuff like that. A state and a city official cannot prescribe marijuana to people. There was a reason in 1932 to illegalize marijuana. The people were getting crazy. Young people back then, it's the greatest thing that we didn't do marijuana. I know that if you want to experiment, maybe we should have a place where young children can experiment. But again,
Can we
the
ask
second
Leah?
you
She
touch
comes from
drugs,
California.
yeah,
Leah, could you please speak up and tell us about any of your friends that may have taken drugs, what your challenges were, if you did take drugs when you were younger, if you didn't, please fill us in.
I actually never did pot in my life, which is very impressive because I am from LA. And so when I was living there, all my friends, and I was in a very wealthy school district, and all my friends did pot. They drank a lot. One of them did cocaine, but that's another story in itself. And they weren't productive. Yeah, they got into good colleges because their parents are rich and they got good SATs. But the kids that didn't do drugs, they came into school every day. The kids that did drugs skipped school all the time and went to parties.
I know a lot of rich kids,
right?
I know a lot of rich kids, but that's my point. You're right. You want me? I bet you that if you look at, and I'm talking to you as a grown man, 55, 56 years old, and I'm talking to you as well. You know you don't want your kids to do drugs in the house. You know you don't want your grandchildren to go around smoking pot. So that's a fact. So we're letting other people's children to do drugs, marijuana, coke. The answer is no. It is our responsibility. If we stand up for others, then we can fight. They will fight for our children. That's it. I thank you.
Actually, don't forget to change your clock, please.
I won't. We're gonna, Mitchell. You got to change the clock. It's your job.
We have another call.
Thank you so much, my friend. You're on the air with Heshy, Rachel, and no, we lost him. Okay, no problem. So, anyways, I'm gonna get to the next subject. I was on Facebook arguing with this guy about Trump, telling him that he's an idiot, and that Bloomberg's a loser.
Wait, you have to clarify. Not that Trump's an idiot, that the guy who didn't like Trump.
Right, the guy who didn't like Trump. Right.
Very smart. I do need to point out one other thing. My parents asked me to point it out. My friends asked me. We don't want to call organizations Nazi organizations. I spent Shabbos with a Holocaust survivor, and what the Nazis did cannot be even fathomed for any of us that haven't gone through it. So let's just call them really evil.
But I want you to know something. When somebody,
we don't want to give them credit to be as terrible as the Nazis.
When somebody terrorizes you, that's what the Nazis did. They had their.
But we can't even imagine.
I know that, but but that's why people have nervous breakdowns. I was talking to a young boy. I promise you, I was in the hospital. I don't know, maybe he was about 30, 31, and his anxiety, he's sitting over there. And I said, "Why? You're a young guy. What's wrong?" "Oh, they're following me. They're making me crazy."
Who's they?
That's what I asked him. And he said the police officers. And this, we went through the next. Somebody must have did something.
By the way,
somebody must have traumatized him.
They do it in Canada too.
But that's not the point. My point that I'm trying to tell you is that when I get pulled over by a cop, I'm standing there shaking because you never know what he's going to say to you. A black guy being pulled over by a cop, most likely he might go to jail. And the borough president, who's a black guy, he defended the cops, or he said the cops are good, but really they did something wrong by arresting this little Spanish lady selling something in the train. But when we have 3 shootings in the Bronx, 2 shootings in Queens, a man stabbed, people stabbed in the face, people's cars being slashed. Oh, but there are 3 cops who are not trained properly in the transit, arresting a lady for selling churros or whatever. I mean, are we not embarrassed? I mean, we're just embarrassed. And the borough president says, well, we should be more calmer. We'll train them better. What do you mean? You made them a cop and you didn't train them? Is there someone? And we're scared of them. You have building department inspectors that have never licensed in their life, never lifted a screwdriver. And I'm not going to knock women, but women who've never worked in construction.
I know. Do you know what? Sometimes I wonder,
how do you become?
Did they even pass high school? Do you know they just had the same story that I spoke about earlier? They had a cop.
No, they passed the city. They passed the test, but they're not qualified. They've never lifted a screwdriver, and they're bossing us around.
Officer Innes took a report that was a false report that the woman actually notarized that she made a false report because she wanted leverage. How did she not have the knowledge and the wherewithal to examine this woman while she was making the claim, to say to her, this is a false claim and I'm not taking it. And exactly, we need to make sure that our cops don't get into
there's
there's
a sanitation cop called Harper. She goes around issuing tickets. She lies. We see her. We follow her. We take pictures. And again, because she writes the ticket, nobody's going to fight this $100 ticket. And you think she writes one. She writes 50 of them. We see pictures today with Mr. Yeager going to every kind of event except for voting for us, except for going to see the people. He goes to dinners. He goes to an OHEL meeting. Listed as an OHEL dinner. And OHEL is not a bad organization, but again, they're not.
Wait, tell our listeners what OHEL does.
OHEL takes special needs children or foster kids, and they get millions of dollars to the government from it. But actually, they used to be a good organization, and now they're just sloppily run. Right. They sloppily run. They don't watch. I see them splitting up twins. I see them not properly watching the children they put into foster care, and they keep sucking money. The parents who give their kids in.
They also offer refuge for women that that have been abused for right?
Some of that, but there's other divisions, and I'm just telling you, an organization that takes responsibility for special children and women has to be on top of their game. Instead, they get all these politicians that come and smile with them because they make these fancy dinners when you should be using the money for the children. And you know what? This is my problem. You are missing in action. They're missing in action, these politicians. But Felder and Yeager, and now this guy Greenfeld, who used to be councilman, who should have never been councilman, who never does anything, but he has a lot of money. He's taking pictures with all these politicians. I don't know why he's constantly with Yeager, because he's going to support Yeager in the next election. But don't worry, Mr. Yeager, Mr. Greenfeld. I'm going to raise just as much money as you're going to try to bribe the people out of your community, and I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat your hands down because you're a no-show, and I want you to know, Mr. Greenfeld, you think you're popular? You just wait till I'm finished with you, because you cheated your way into the election too. With me, you're not going to cheat. I'm going to beat you, because Mr. Greenfeld beat my son when he was 18 years old. He ran for councilman, and Mr.
They're the same class?
Yeah, Mr. Greenfeld is double the age of my son, but he was a lawyer, and he sued my son on a Friday, and we couldn't fight back on the papers, so we got thrown off the ballot.
No way.
Yeah, we
so
didn't
he knew. He took advantage.
He knew the game, and this is what Mr. Greenfeld is. He's just a player who doesn't do anything.
What's his relationship with Mr. Yeager?
Oh, so he got Mr. Yeager elected. He was supposed to run for office. Nobody wanted to run against an incumbent, so Mr. Greenfeld pulled out the day before, and Mr. Yeager, whose name was on the list, automatically took over his spot without filling out the forms.
Unbelievable.
So he won the Democratic nomination.
You know what? I totally agree with you. I never agreed with you more until I actually almost threw up when I saw the chief rabbi, Rabbi Lau, taking pictures everywhere. I went to Base Rivka, this and that. You know that he's under scrutiny for taking bribes? Why is everyone taking pictures with him?
You know what? Here's it gets better. The key guy in the Trump impeachment witness case, this guy Gordon Sondland, he's accused of sexual misconduct.
Unbelievable.
And you know what? This is who they bring up to the impeachment
exactly.
thing. And this lady Acosta, that crazy Acosta Cortez, the congresswoman, that Spanish lady over there,
yeah, I know.
who blew Amazon, who made us lose billions of dollars because she's just an incompetent, illiterate, stupid fool. So she says, even if she wants President Trump to be elected again. This way she can continue the impeachment case forever.
Of course. It's all about ulterior motives. I don't know if we can find a straight man today, but let's hope so. And I do want to mention, since we're holding by Thanksgiving tomorrow, if it was a Jewish holiday, it would have started tonight, because everything starts at night by us. That I would like to say, I know not very fond of Mr. Schumer, but I was very impressed, and my heart skipped a beat when I looked up and I was in a public office and I saw that Chuck Schumer said that he'd like to pass a law that airlines cannot charge extra for families to sit together, that we have to have America.
They don't charge extra for families.
They do. They do. Sometimes if you want to switch the seats, if someone else had it, then they say you have to pay in advance. Now,
I never heard that.
Have you
never
heard
that. I've flown lately.
And you know that if you want to reserve your seats in advance, you need to pay a fee.
No way.
Yes way, sir.
Really?
Yes.
I can't believe that.
You didn't fly national. You fly international.
Okay. Well, anyway.
I know something before you knew it. I feel like I'm flying.
I think it's wrong, and I still don't like Senator Schumer because he's also and this guy Nadler. I mean, he's just a wacko. He's embarrassing. Not only to be embarrassed, he should never. You people should stop electing this guy. This guy is our congressman who does nothing. He's so busy with impeaching the president that for 3 years we're paying him hundreds of thousands of dollars to actually sit on a committee that's never going to end up winning.
By the way, I have a question for you.
No,
Trump is so unbelievable that I'm wondering, do you think that he's maybe kind of enjoying this impeachment because it makes him like so much more popular? Bad advertisement is still advertisement. We're constantly talking about him.
That's why Trump, they say, was so different in the last election that he took publicity and he took it any way he could, and he didn't mind.
I think he's brilliant.
That's because he's a businessman and he have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
That's what and he doesn't care to be reelected. If you don't elect him again, big deal. I'm 74 years old. Have a good life.
Exactly.
I just made my money and so on.
Yeah,
so
he got into the White House.
There's a mayor from Idaho or something called Mayor Pete Buttigieg. He's gay. Do you think that we should have a gay? He says
you asked me last
I know,
time.
but he says this week that he believes there were presidents in the past that were gay.
Well, first of all, there's a very big difference between doing anything privately, as you said, even about marijuana, or doing something publicly. We cannot possibly know every little tiny detail. Only God knows every detail. But
you back to God. Everything you blame on God.
Everything.
You got to stop
thank Him. We have Thanksgiving.
I got you.
America has been founded.
I have no problem. But
faith in God.
God does not take responsibility for evil people who do bad things. Now, I'm not saying
I didn't say God takes responsibility for anything, but I do know that at night He stays up, so I give my problems to Him.
Do you know what LGBTQ stands for?
Yeah, bacon and ham. No, I'm just kidding. But I definitely
no, but I never knew. I
want to tell you that
stop. I was lesbian, gay.
I know
but the Q I never understood was queer.
Yeah, because it's weird.
Right. So you're making fun of the gay community yourself. Usually when you called somebody queer when I was a kid, it was bad. Now they want to be called queer?
Yeah, they're different, you know.
They have a lot of
It's so cool to be different.
You know that
now,
like fat, if you spell fat, PHAT, it's cool. Like you're so fat, so cool.
No.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. But anyway, Big H, you're awesome. You're not big as in fat. You're big as in unbelievable. You have the biggest heart. You have the biggest mind.
Okay, now.
And I think that you're amazing, and I think that you would really bring New York to higher levels.
Yes. Okay.
Actually,
I like you. I'm giving you a raise.
Actually, can I say something?
I want to talk about mothers for a second.
When you ask permission later, you always get knocked off. You just got to get in there and say it.
No, but I want to say something. I want to say something. Mothers, I just want you to know, mothers are special people. I'm going to take that phone call, and I want you to know I'm going to tell my wife what kind of a great mother she is, because I know you've worked. I was watching this video. You're on there with Heshy and Rachel. I just want to say one thing. I never appreciated till I saw this video about mothers. They have a job that's 365 days. They work 150 hours a week. They are something special. So I want to give thanks, not just to my fellow Americans, fellow people, but mothers of America that have stood there, that have taken care of your children, and have made your children special. And my children today, 27, 28, 20, they kissed their mother. I'm so proud of her, even though I think she's nuts sometimes. But still, she was a great mother, and even my mother. I do miss her a little bit, even though I didn't like her. No, I didn't.
I went with you to pray by her. Great sight.
Hello, you're on the air with Heshy and Rachel and Leah.
Yes, Heshy, this is Eddie again.
Eddie, we love you. Good.
Listen, Heshy, you asked a question about Mr. Buttigieg, who was a mayor of a small town in Indiana. How about him being homosexual? Yes, we're pretty certain that James Buchanan, who was the president immediately preceding Lincoln, was also homosexual.
Wow, I didn't know that. Really?
They have some evidence of his relationship with a certain person. I don't remember all the details. It may not be 100%, but it's pretty certain.
Eddie, do you think James Buchanan was a good president?
No, he was. Based on what I've read.
There you go. So you've proven my point. We cannot thrive with a gay president.
Wow.
I rest my case.
It's not him being gay. It's him being liberal. Socialist.
Well, you have to be liberal to be gay.
No, not true.
No. There is a group called the Log Cabin Republicans that are homosexual and conservative, and there's a famous homosexual with a long Greek name.
Hold on 1 second, Eddie. We don't want to miss this call, but we're gonna get back to you.
Oh no, that's okay. It's okay. I just want to let him know about Buchanan. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Eddie. Have a good night.
Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Rachel, and Leah.
Yeah, Heshy, I was listening to the show the whole time, and I really didn't want to call in about it. But what Rachel just said is the most ridiculous thing in the world.
That's okay.
Yeah, and nothing personal, Rachel, but you have such a myopic look in life.
Myopic. Can you explain that to the person who's so myopic and wouldn't know what that word means?
Why don't you look it up on Google?
No, why don't you
Look
tell
it up.
us? We're gonna look.
We can
Okay,
get
we're
to it.
gonna Google it.
I agree with the caller, Rachel, because I always disagree with you.
Because you always like to disagree with me. But you know what? Obviously, you haven't been reading the Old Testament or the New Testament. And God, recently we read about it that He destroyed the world because of lesbians and gay relationships. So that's okay. That is my opinion. It's your opinion. We respect each other. We can sit in the same room. I love him. You might not. That's all fine too.
Okay, first of all, Heshy, I happen to agree with you 100% about marijuana and pot and legalizing it, but you do understand why they're legalizing it. They're legalizing it because they can't fight it. They can't stop it. So that's why they're trying to make money on it.
No, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a dumb, but I know we can't stop the war on drugs. It's very hard. But to go out and say, hey, man, I'm going to sell it in the local drugstore. I'm going to give you a license to sell it. I understand decriminalizing it. No problem. You want to grow it in your house, 2, 3, 5 plants. You want to get the seeds, but to sell it in the public street, and you're telling me, oh, we're going to put up a sign, nobody under 21 years old. Please, I was smoking cigarettes at 12 or 15 years old if I wanted. I knew kids in my class and in the school, they were smoking marijuana. You can't tell me that you're going to be able to control it, but do not sell it to the public. Don't give them a license.
Let me just go back to Rachel's comment about the Torah. First of all,
I'm just looking up what my topic means. I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay, Rachel,
Go
stop.
ahead.
why would you say narrow-minded? Very narrow-minded. I don't think
You're like the first person to accuse me of that. You may think I'm narrow-minded because that's my opinion, but go ahead.
Rachel, you're one of the co-hosts there. I'm only just saying one thing. When you as a Jew can come out with a comment that you would not vote for somebody because of their sexual orientation, and you're going to judge them based on that.
I didn't say I'm judging them. And by the way, we constantly make judgments, whether we should cross the street while the car is coming, whether we should make a left turn, how to fight a traffic ticket. You know, judging is actually one of the things that God gave us the ability to do, to make decisions. Every single step of the day, you're making judgments.
Qualifications of a president has nothing to do with who or she sleeps with. It has to do with whether they're qualified to run the United States and whether they have the competency.
But it's not only that, but also like I have no problem with it, and you're 100% right. But my question is what about do we respect that?
It's considered an abomination to God.
No. But
and so someone who's running our country cannot be successful, as far as I'm concerned, if they're doing something that will take God out of the country.
Donald Trump, who I happen to support, has slept with everything under the sun.
How do you know? You have videos? You have videos? I don't know. I didn't see any videos.
He's admitted it.
Really? Send me the copy.
He has admitted it.
We think he's a good president. And this is one president who had the common sense to recognize the state of Israel's capital, Jerusalem. He is the best president Israel ever had, and he's not a moral person. He's not an ethical person. We're not voting for someone as the priest or the rabbi.
So you're saying he did something good for Israel, but how is that good for America?
No, he did a lot for me. He's not finished. Keep going.
A person's qualifications to be president has nothing to do who he sleeps with.
By the way, if you're sleeping, you can't be doing anything wrong. So I'm just saying that. He must have been awake while he did it, no?
His sexual orientation has nothing to do with his qualifications. He's not. I don't think he's qualified to be president, but it has nothing to do with where he sleeps.
I want to ask you a question.
Let's get out of the bedroom.
I want to ask you a question. There's an idiot called Rick Wiles or Wills. I don't know if you saw the video that's going around. He got on the television, or I saw his WhatsApp. He has something called True. He's a founder of a non-denominational a company or a thing called True News. And he was on his video saying that the Jews are responsible for getting Donald Trump impeached. I promise you, you should watch this video.
Well, let me tell you something. Unfortunately, the people in charge of the impeachment, Schiff, Schumer, and Nadler, happen to be of the Jewish faith. And the prosecutor, the lawyer, who's actually asking all the questions, happens to be of the Jewish faith. So unfortunately, when you put one and one together, you get two. So there is an appearance that The Jews are behind him.
Well, those three idiots really don't represent. None of us ever even. I mean, Nadler is just a little fat man who's an idiot. Schumer is an ungrateful hater of people. Anyways, thank you for your call, my brother. We will speak to you, and I want you to listen to the last few minutes of the show.
Have a good night, Kaddish.
You too, my brother. That was, you see, he don't fight with him.
Everyone can hear you. We're still on the air. Tell me privately.
I'm not going to tell you privately. He was right.
He was absolutely
he's telling you
wrong,
not to judge.
If I was running for politics, I wouldn't say it. He can't tell me what to judge. And my judgment is in my brain based on certain things. That's all.
I got you.
Welcome to the show.
Hello, you're on the show with Heshy, Rachel, and Leah.
Hello.
Yes, hi. Good evening. How are you?
Fine,
Good evening. Woo! Saved by the call. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, God bless you. Baruch Hashem. I'm very happy to hear you. I love your energy and your liveliness. It's wonderful. Your enthusiasm, all of you. And I want to compliment Rachel for for expressing her wonderful views. Yes, we here in America, and actually in every country, but especially here in America, we are obligated to elect moral leaders, moral political leaders. This is based on the founding of this country, from the Pilgrims to the founding fathers, who are all God-fearing people, and they emphasize the idea that we have to elect moral, righteous people to political office, as well as nominating moral judges. So,
100%.
Rachel,
Thank you very much.
Rachel, you're on the mark. Whether that person is a good-hearted person or not, what you're talking about, this person with strange inclinations, it doesn't matter. The fact that he is living in a life that is contrary to God's word, God's command, and President Trump is a beautiful person, and he brought up his children in wonderful ways. He taught them not to drink, not to smoke, not to do drugs. He is a wonderful, excellent, beautiful person, a charitable person, a righteous person. I want to bless you and wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving and all your listeners.
Thank you so much.
And we have another call now. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
And Chodesh Tov.
Hello, you're on the air with Heshy, Rachel, and Leah.
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to please let Leah speak. Leah wants to say something. I wanted to hear.
Wow. Thank you for calling in.
Wow, they're telling me to shut up.
Tonight.
Wow, I can't believe it. I am shocked.
That's
Usually
amazing. Go ahead, Leah. You're on the air.
So I grew up in different areas I grew up in Oakland and LA, and so I saw a lot of different types of representation of people, and I noticed with a lot of different people is that people will just say, "Oh, I'm gay. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that," just for attention. Sometimes I'm sorry.
100%.
It's like because it's a new fad,
That's
you know.
right. I heard a
Being
joke.
gay is fun now. Apparently.
I heard a joke. I was sitting in a restaurant with a gay person, a vegetarian, a vegan, and something else. How'd I know? They all told me.
Within 1 minute.
By the way, guys, before we end the show, I made a barbecue this week in the cold, and
That's so
I
cool.
bought-
That's like sitting in a hot tub in the middle of the freezing weather.
because me and Linda were renovating the house, and we have a lot of dust, and we have nowhere to go. So we couldn't. They took out our whole kitchen, and Linda wanted to move out. I said, "No, Linda, I will make you I will cook every night on the grill."
That's amazing. You're a
I
good
am.
husband.
I am. I'm even taking it away for the weekend.
How's your son in Israel?
I'm very upset. I'm going there. I'm going to be flying there at the end of the year to drag the boy home by his ears. But we have to do the final course.
I want to know. Condolences to Bibi Netanyahu.
So, anyways, my niece, my nephew, my daughter-in-law is a vegetarian, and she only eats veggie burgers. So I went to buy these Beyond $4.50 or $5 hamburgers, and a lady online felt so bad for me. She sold me have 10 of them. She gave me a $2 coupon off on each one.
That's amazing.
And she just felt bad to me because she told me whatever. So I felt bad. It was the only thing I was buying. So my daughter-in-law didn't show up, and I made these hamburgers already defrosted. So I told them that we're going to eat veggie burgers. I hate veggie burgers. Happened to be they were pretty good.
They're delicious.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't believe it.
Are you going to have any at the Thanksgiving dinner?
We're going to have none at the Thanksgiving dinner. It's all fattening stuff. So when you all show up, have a good time. I want to just tell you about, again, Fallon's. It's beautiful clothing for adults, teens, and children. Very classy, cool stuff. If you're a woman, go there. My woman goes there. I like it. The owner of the place is a very nice lady. I know it. 3132 Bedford Avenue. If you go there before midnight tonight, you'll get 10% off. Go there, say Uncle Heshy sent you, and you'll get another 5% off. It's Black Friday. Call them at 347-693-9908. 347-693-9908. They're located at 3132 Bedford Avenue, corner of Avenue J. The first 10 customers tonight, I'm sorry they were there already, they get 10% off. But if you say Uncle Heshy sent you, just enough Heshy, you'll get another 5% off.
Actually, you didn't tell your joke today. You know that.
I did say my joke. Remember the
We
her
laughed at
joke?
it, didn't we?
Oh, yeah, we did laugh at it.
Wow,
okay,
wow.
fine.
See,
You say it again. It was really good.
You don't even pay attention to me ever.
No,
Wow.
it was amazing. You said,
I want you to hear this one. $25 car rental. Rent a car on the corner of 18th Avenue and Coney Island Avenue. You get into a car, $25 or minivan, $35, 718-851-2000. They'll call you insurance companies, 800-2495-2495. That means $24.95. We have Chamula Jewelers, a family-owned business for over 40 years. They're good with diamond engagement rings, eternity bands, and diamond jewelry. They're 718-336-1980, located at 944 Kings Highway. What do they have, Rachel?
You tell me, Heshy.
They have the sparkle for you.
And I want to say
And
a
we have
very big...
ttstyles.com, Tina Tischler, 718-675-6842. Don't forget Green Line Building Solutions, 5318 16th Avenue, corner of 54th and 16th Avenue, 718-871-0382.
And Mom, I love you. Happy Thanksgiving. You're the
Thanksgiving to
best.
all you mothers. You're wonderful. Thanksgiving to you all. See you next Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Dimitri, you
Dun,
are
dun,
wonderful.
dun, dun,
We love
dun,
you.
dun.
We love you, Dimitri. We love you.
The preceding program is a paid advertisement. The opinions and views expressed